Hello, this is Stephanie Capizzi again with another interview in my extraordinary platform. I'm doing interviews with musicians because I think musicians are extraordinary. Today we are interviewing Phil Kirk, and we're at Phil's home in Hyde Park, Vermont right now, and we're going to get to know him a little bit better. Thanks for joining us. All right, and thanks for being willing to do the interview.
Well, thanks for asking.
Yeah, appreciate it. And so you live in Hyde Park, Vermont. How long have you lived here?
I've lived in Hyde Park for 9 years.
9 years, okay. Yeah. And I met you some years ago.
Yeah.
Can't quite remember.
I've lived in different places in the general area for a long time, except for 2 years in Virginia.
Okay.
Before right. I came to Hyde Park.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. Why don't we just get started with some questions to get to know you a little. And so, Phil, can you tell us, maybe for a moment, actually, I'm going to just pause to say that you are a musician that plays in this state of Vermont and probably have in other states. And your style of music is, what do you call it?
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter, kind of country folk, I guess.
Yeah.
And a lot of old-time influence.
Yeah. Yes. And
so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
That's me in some sort of a category.
That's in there. Yeah, it is often hard to label a genre to ourselves, but
Americana.
Yeah, I say that
umbrella.
Too. Right. It covers a lot, right? Which is so awesome. And I've certainly heard some of your songwriting, which is amazing. You are really a what's the word I'm looking for? Like compelling songwriter. Your songs are very relatable and they have a deep feeling to them, I feel like. And some of them are very funny, some are less than funny, but they're about real life things. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sending your songs out to the world. Yeah. So my first question is about, at what age would you say that you were drawn to making music?
Well, my earliest memory is my brother and I listening to rock and roll records, especially the Beach Boys and Jan and Dean. And we had the badminton rackets out because we didn't have guitars, so we pretended we did.
Okay.
And that's
that's great.
I was first interested in making music, I think. But I started playing guitar when I was 9. I got a guitar for Christmas. And that's when I started. And, as I got into my early teenage years, I got into different music and started listening to Bob Dylan and Arlo Guthrie, Woody Guthrie, and actually, I have really early memories of listening to Ola Belle Reed and on WCOJ out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania, when I was a kid. Saturday mornings, they had this show, Campbell's Corner.
Okay.
And it was Campbell's Corner was in Oxford, Pennsylvania, and they had a little stage in the back, and they had a show from there. It was Alex Campbell and Ola Belle Reed, and they did it on the radio every week. And my brother and I just loved it. And it was all real old-timey and bluegrass.
Yeah.
And so we listened to that in the morning, and in the afternoon, my parents put the opera on.
Okay. Yeah. So in the afternoons, that's what you were listening to.
Well, I kind of would skedaddle when
Okay,
the opera
so you
came
weren't
on,
actually
pretty much. I was
hanging out
not my
listening to the
thing,
opera. Yeah.
but
Okay.
I heard a lot of it over the years.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you did. Well, that's quite a difference in things that were playing in your house during the day. Yeah. At different times when you were growing up. Cool. Let's see. I think maybe I'll ask. So in this, I find people don't have a favorite, so it's getting to, do you have, you're a songwriter, do you have a favorite or more than one favorite of your songs? And why? Or what makes it your favorite?
Well, I have a couple. One is a tribute song that I wrote for John Prine. And the other is just a very personal song. It's called "None of Them Was You." I just like the way that song turned out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great song. I've heard it.
And it has a lot of emotion in it for me. So it's sometimes not my favorite one to perform, but
right.
But
because it's emotional.
Because it's hard to get through it sometimes. Yeah.
Sure.
But
sure. Okay.
I do it. I did it.
And you're John Prine. You did?
Yeah.
Okay, and you got through it.
Yeah.
How did you find the experience? Were you glad you did it?
I was glad I did it.
Yeah. That's good. Very good. What is the one called that you wrote as a tribute to John Prine? Is that how you said it?
Yeah. Now He's in Heaven.
Now He's in Heaven is the name of it. Okay. Great. And I've already asked Phil, and he has said yes, he would play one of his songs at the end of this interview. So we can all look forward to that. Very excited. I'm already at number 3, which is go ahead. A little bird chirping during the interview.
Silence that.
It's cool. Okay. You're
Sorry.
good. Yeah. No problem. This is a candid interview.
Yep.
And so if you could be any kind of fruit, what would you be?
A kind of fruit?
Yeah.
A peach.
A peach.
A peach.
Why? Oops.
I'll call you right back.
I'm sorry. I thought I refused that call.
I know.
I don't know why I answered it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Well, why would you be a peach?
Can we pause?
Yes. We can pause. Here we go. Okay, so why would you be a peach?
Well, because they're kind of rough and fuzzy on the outside, but sweet on the inside.
Okay, and that would describe you.
I hope it describes me. I'm not sure, but I love peaches. That's the other reason I'd be a peach.
Okay.
I just think it's a peach that everybody would have to love, right? So that's why I would be a peach.
Okay, all those things. And they're delicious, right?
And they're delicious. Yeah.
Well, all right. Phil would be a peach. It's just fun. Yeah, it's just fun to ask that.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to move on to this. Do you have a process for creating songs?
Well, sometimes they wake me up at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I get up and scribble. Sometimes they come to me while I'm driving in the car, and I turn on the voice recorder on my phone and sing. I did a lot of that when I was driving for a job, doing delivery. So I did a lot of, starts to songs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just go back and, so if I've written something down or recorded something, I go back later and sit down with my guitar and see what I can do with it.
Okay.
And sometimes they come out good, and sometimes I just throw them away.
Yeah, right. And that's how the way it comes and goes
Yeah.
sometimes, right? Like it's not, yeah.
But they just, I get some kind of an inspiration for it that starts the process.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is, it might be a line or just an idea.
Yeah. And then does it take you, once you come home and start working through it, do you feel like you're like really intentional and it takes quite a while, or they come rather quickly? Does the music come with it, or do you spend a lot of time pulling music into it?
A lot of times the music comes with it, especially if I'm singing them into the voice recorder.
Yeah.
Or at least I have a tune to work from. Sometimes I'll change it, but I usually have a basic tune when I do that to start with, and some kind of a riff on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tend to like to write with my guitar, when I really, so I work out the tune as I go along.
Okay.
And sometimes they come together really fast. Sometimes there've been a few that I had to really work on for a while to get the whole thing.
Right.
Some of my songs are wordier than others, so
right. Sure, and they take.
Or maybe I'll get a verse and then nothing, and then I just have to wait for it, or maybe work on it a little bit.
Right.
Try some other things.
Yeah. Sure. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So usually, a lot of times, these inspirations come to you when you're driving. Quite often, it sounds like, or at any given time, and then you often sing it into to keep it like, so when you go back to it, you'll remember it or be able to start from there.
Yeah, I mean, like one song, I actually got up at 3 a.m. and just wrote it. Got out my guitar, and
the whole song came,
and most of it came right then.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You tweaked it a little bit later, but basically I got it down.
No, that's great. One of those 3 o'clock in the morning came to you and showed up, and you worked through that one.
Yeah.
That's great. That's cool. Thanks for sharing.
I was staying in a cabin with a tin roof, and it was stormy night, raining real hard.
Yeah.
So that's what woke me up. So I had to get up and write about it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a pretty awesome story and memory, and like how that song came. That's great. Do you have any particular artists or mentors that influenced you greatly in your musical journey?
I would, a bunch of them. I mean, obviously John Prine. It's a huge influence on me as a person, I think, and as a songwriter. And I mean, I've been singing his songs ever since I first heard him.
Yeah.
When I was in high school. So, but there were lots of others. Chris Christopherson, John Hartford, Bob Dylan. Arlo Guthrie was a huge influence when I was a teenager. I couldn't get Alice's Restaurant out of my head. I knew the whole story by heart.
Right.
And when I was 15, I was apt to just start saying it, just start doing it. When I was in groups of people.
Right. Oh, that's fun. Oh my gosh. You knew the whole thing. How long was that thing?
Well, it was
I used to do it too.
18 minutes long or something like
that. Wow. Remember that played like every Thanksgiving also, right?
It still does.
Still does? Oh my gosh. I haven't heard it in years, but
I heard it last Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's great. What channel did you hear it on?
Well, let's see. I think I heard it on WMOT, Middle Tennessee Public Radio, that I stream.
Yeah.
And I believe that Vermont Public still plays it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I might have
Vermont
listened to it
Public
on that.
Radio.
I might have listened to it on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
This last year. But,
Yeah.
and the Point may also play it. They used to play it.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think I remember when they
Yeah.
did, but I just haven't heard it in a lot of years. Oh, okay. I like hearing that they're still doing that. That's great. This is great. Oh my God. Okay, so those were some of your definite influences in your life and to your music.
Yeah.
Sounds like, yeah. Wonderful. Now you perform in public, and I'm wondering, do you have a process before you go up to perform in public? Is there anything you do that not like a ritual necessarily, but like that prepares you?
Well, if I have the opportunity, I like to warm up a little before if I know I'm going to play somewhere. I play a couple songs before I go there.
Yeah.
So that I can just be warmed up a little. Mm-hmm. And I like to know what I'm going to play. Yeah. If I'm on. Last week I had to play 2 songs and I had it narrowed down to 7, I think, before I went over there.
Oh my gosh. So really the decision was made like right before you went up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But,
was that in Cabot, Vermont?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
that's great. So you like to practice them a little before you, or how did you say that?
Yeah, one or two, or just a warm up of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And to know what you want to play.
That's helpful.
Yeah, that's helpful. Instead of totally winging it. Yeah. Well, I hear you. Mm-hmm. I do the same. Oh, okay. Well, my gosh. We just have really one more question, and then we're going to take a break, actually, and Phil will get his guitar, right? And
okay.
And then when we do that, we'll come back and have Phil's going to play one of his fabulous songs. And so the question is, if you could have your fans remember you by one thing, what would that be? Fans or people in your life. What would you like to be remembered by?
I would like to be remembered as a kind person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As having compassion.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are that. I would remember you as that for sure. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Who like to write songs and play them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
And
Okay. Kind person who like to write songs and play them. You feel? Yeah. That's great. Wonderful. Yeah. I can say that for sure about you, those two things, and that you write amazing songs. And to be remembered kind of for what you bring forth. That's something I would remember about you, that you bring this stuff forth and share it with the rest of us, and how much I appreciate that. Yeah. Is that a bird?
Yeah, we have actual birds here, not just my phone.
Yeah, I can hear a little bird in the back. All right. So we're going to take a break, and Phil's going to get his guitar, and we'll come back and do... What's the song you'd like to play?
I think I'd like to play Now He's in Heaven.
Oh, good. I was hoping he would pick that one. Okay. All right. We're going to take a break. Be right back. Hey, we're back. And we're back. And Phil is going to perform an original song, which is a tribute to John Prine. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
And say what it's called again?
Now He's in Heaven.
Now He's in Heaven. Okay. And I'm going to step out of this picture and be back. You a little bit. Okay.
And I wrote this, I guess, a couple years after he died. It was coming up on the 2nd anniversary of his passing, and I was inspired to write this song. Also, partially, it was inspired by his song, When I Get to Heaven. And also I had heard Casey Musgrave perform a song for John Prine, like they were performing together, and she sat and sang it to him, and it was called "My Idea of Heaven Is to Burn One with John Prine."
That's right. That's right.
That's how she ended up in the song.
Okay. Okay, great.
Right. So here it is. Now He's in Heaven. I never got to sing one with old John Prine, but he wrote the soundtrack of my life. He was a special friend of mine. I never got to meet him, but he helped me through some dark times when I was feeling blue. Now he's up in heaven, singing with the angels, just like he used to sing before. I guess I'll never get the chance now, as long as I am living. But I just might when I get to heaven. Heard him sing so many songs, they're coming out my pores like whiskey when I've been on bender. Now he's resting comfortably on God's celestial shore. These are all the words that I can render. Now he's up in heaven, singing with the angels, just like he used to sing before. I guess I'll never get the chance now, as long as I am living. But I just might when I get to heaven. I went to see him lots of times, and one thing I observed on stage was a guitar. He was in his glory. When I heard the news he passed away, I bowed my head and cried, knowing he was in heaven before he died. Now he's up in heaven, singing with the angels, just like he used to sing before. Guess I'll never get the chance now, as long as I am living. But I just might when I get to heaven. Something I've been thinking about for such a long, long time. I'd like to sing a song with old John Prine. My idea of heaven now, before I go down in my grave, is to sing one with Casey Musgrave. 'Cause now he's up in heaven, singing with the angels, just like he used to sing before. Guess I'll never get the chance now, as long as I'm living. But I just might when I get to heaven. Yeah, I just might when I get to heaven. Just might happen when I get to heaven.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful song. Oh my gosh, it sure is. Thanks so much for doing that song.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Yay. I was thinking about this guitar too. You want to tell us anything about this guitar?
It's the first guitar I ever made. I
It's,
made this guitar. Yeah.
yeah, you did. How long ago?
I made it about 14 years ago.
Wow. And it sounds beautiful. And it's a beautiful guitar.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, thanks so much for sharing it. Thank you, everyone. Well, I'm not even in here speaking with you all because I forgot I turned the camera off. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And thank you for being willing to do this.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for asking. And,
Sure, yeah.
thank you for listening out there.
Great. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. And I hope you have a great day. Great day. All right. Bye-bye.